Wow, what's happening, folks? It's more official than a ref with a whistle. You're posted with the PG on Rated PG. And we have our first, our co-host, Mabroski.
Capdrowski.
And we have our very, very special guest. There we go. Coming here harder. No, that sounds gay. Damn.
I saw you blanked on my name for a second.
No, because I'm trying to find something that rhymes with right, and it was like light night. You ain't no dark night, though, because I was going to say dark night. My nigga who always votes for the left, but he coming here to the right, Zach Wright.
You feel like that was a cop-out, too?
Yep.
He's like,
yeah,
you basically just gave me, he's here and he's a registered Democrat. Give it right.
He's a registered Dem. He's for the left. I'll tell you guys, he's all white with us. But you can follow me on Instagram at P Diddy. Pop up P Diddy, then the B. See a black guy that looks like me. And your Instagram says?
I am KAPDROSKI. I'm the first white guy to pop up.
And yours, Mr. Zach?
Mine is Zach W. Comedy.
How do you spell this, Zach? With a K or H?
With an H.
Cool.
The biblical way, the only correct way.
The way God had intended for Zach to be spelled.
I still spelled it out of my head.
I do.
Dude, fuck out of here with the Z-A-C-K, Zachs.
Yeah, I feel like that's is Zach an American name?
I don't know, because Zachariah is what it comes from.
Oh, yeah, I don't have it.
Nah.
Yeah, that's around before here.
I mean, it's America.
That's an American name in the way that, America also took that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Zachariah, 100% American name. All the way. Truest name that there could be.
Seems as American as everything the fuck else.
Shows, today is the 23rd.
Tuesday
the 23rd. I will be at Limerick tonight. Then the 26th, I will be at Rick and Hazel's private house show. That show starts at 8 p.m. The address is on the Facebook. And then May 11th, I am on a clean comedy show with Billy Willig. And then Laughing Skull Lounge, May 14th. And for you, Mr. Drosky?
I am on Marietta Strand, May 17th to Friday.
17th.
Yep, on Comedy Grind 3.
That's a Friday.
Yep, it's a Friday. Just like I said, I know what days are. On May 17th, that's Comedy Grind 3 up there in the big room, doing that on the stage. Then May 18th, the next day, is the $1 comedy show.
Hey.
I have no idea who the hell. The headliner is going to be Hillary from the movie Dumpling.
Okay.
So she'll be our headliner, and I'm not sure who the feature is.
We're going to cross that bridge when we get there.
We'll never get there today.
Heard. And Zach, what shows do you have coming up, sir?
I'll be at the Skull for Best of shows this weekend, Thursday night, then Sunday, the brunch show and the 7 p.m. show. After that, I got, if you're in Atlanta, you can see me doing 20 minutes at either Second Self Brewery Friday night. I'll be closing that out. And then I'm also at Old Fourth Ward Distillery May 8th doing 20 minutes.
I think I'm going to come see that 20.
Hey, you don't have to. If you're in Huntsville, Alabama, I don't know if you got any Huntsville listeners. I'm at Epic Comedy Hour. And on May 24th, it's the last Friday of the month, I believe. And then I'm back at Skull May 23rd and May 26th, which is also last Thursday, last Sunday of the month, just like April.
Boom. Questions. When you do the, is that the best of?
Yeah.
So when you do the best of, do you still have to email Ben about the open mic? Or do you
Yeah. The open mic, it's completely separate.
Oh, okay.
Ben just books the open mics. Shout out to Ben Evans. He's in town right now, actually. I saw him.
Is he now?
We have a good relationship. Sometimes I email him for open mic spots, and then only when I need to fill out the W-9 for the Skull. And that's the only time we talk, but shout out Ben.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. He
Gets that paperwork one time?
Yeah. as much as terrible as comedian, I'm sure that's a terrible job. Is making sure comedians file paperwork on time. That's got to be a terrible fucking job.
Like I don't like
shout out support to Ben.
I don't trust comedians to bring cigars, so I damn sure don't trust them to do no paperwork.
They don't. Yeah, you can't really trust comedians to show up on time, and then let them know, hey, can you give me this paperwork? Yeah, sure, 100%.
People who like do like management like stuff in comedy, I don't know how you could deal with it. Like I would not.
I think you have to be a comedian yourself, or at one point you would have had to have been one. So that way you know how to talk to people, or at least talk to the person that don't want to be spoken to about things that they paid you to do or hired you to do.
Okay, I just wouldn't do it because I know me and there's like shit. Like, I didn't even plug this show. I'm at Emory University Thursday.
It's shit like this. Shout out to Emory.
This is why you wouldn't want to like keep track of the comedian. It's because like this entire conversation, I'm just like, I didn't plug this show or this show. I'm like, fuck. I didn't plug my own shows. Like,
you do have your own room, Jack. Just plug your room, Jack.
I run a show the last Saturday of every month at the Buckhead Mellow Mushroom. The main one's gonna be we got some beer sponsors coming out, so you can get some free glassware from breweries. You can get some sweet swag.
Who puts that show?
My manager David. He knows nothing about comedy. I gave him all the rules.
Like, David, you just find these people and you put them on this show.
I told him this is the quota you have to have in Atlanta comedy of each type of comedian. It's on you to fill it out. I'll just host it.
So I need to get on David because I've never gotten any kind of email from fucking David, man.
Yeah. Then
Cap, you got anything from David?
Nah, I haven't checked my emails in a minute.
Also, I run a weekly open mic at Smith's Olde Bar, Wednesday nights at 11.
I usually be. What time? How long does that go for?
It goes. We have to be done by about 1 a.m. Last call's like 1:30. Kitchen closes at midnight. So trying to cut the difference. So.
Is that show up? Go up?
Yeah, it show up, go up. It is. Rough.
It is rough.
Hey, Tuesday karaoke is gonna be popular.
Dude, every night at Smith's is popping, except for
except for my night. I was about to say I've never been. I know the room, but I'm always at work.
If you've never done comedy, you're thinking about trying comedy, but you're like, I don't want it to be good. I want to be doing comedy in a room where there are 2 other rooms on either side, and it sounds like everyone's having more fun in those other rooms. Smith's Olde Open Mic, baby. Wednesday nights at 11. Come through.
Bring that ass.
Yeah.
The other rooms are Steve competition. I've seen some pretty damn good comedians on stage, and them other rooms still sound.
You just hear?
Yeah, that's
But legitimately, the only comedian I have seen kill in that room is Clayton English.
Yeah, and that other room was still popping.
Yeah,
that's what I ain't want to say his name, but I was like, hey man, he was up there
smacking hard.
The only
still hear people screaming.
Probably the only person to ever get an applause break in that room. Clayton English.
100%.
He walked in thinking this was gonna be the 1 a.m. and I'm like, nope, it's in the middle room.
Nope, no sir. How long have you? No, what got you started in entertainment? Did you just jump right into comedy?
Yeah, I always wanted to do comedy. That's comedy is I don't know, I watched a lot of that growing up with my dad. My dad was like not in my life until about middle school. And then we bonded over like watching comedies and shit.
I feel like that's a great segue.
That's a weird situation.
Yeah, my parents were separated, and I was just like, it just wasn't like I was living with my mom because like Georgia, like the mom just gets custody.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like you pay, you like either she gets custody or you pay like $5,000 for her to get custody. Like that's like really like how it seems like it works.
Like you don't want to fight for me?
Yeah. Like shit, the fight is what you want to make of it.
Yeah.
But I've heard your story. We were talking about it before we started recording. The 16-year-old kid hanging outside of the comedy room.
Oh yeah. Like I started doing stand up. Like the first time I ever did a set, I was like 17. Like I really started doing it when I was like 18. But like before I was 21, I'd like sit outside a Star Bar and just fun like, hey, just don't forget about me. I'm here. I'm ready. Like whatever you want, put me up. I'm ready. But I was telling you like I'd watch like late night shows and like try to write my own monologue jokes. And this is at the point where like Twitter was like people were getting writing jobs off of Twitter. Like Shelby Farrow is like the prime example of like she was also like 17, 18, just making jokes on Twitter. And it got like her Twitter account got popular and that, like she's written for a bunch of shows now. And I was like, that
get a Twitter.
It's not like that anymore. It doesn't work.
Everybody's a genius now.
But that's what it was like. That first started happening, so I was like just trying to like write those monologue jokes, put them on Twitter, and I'm like, that's all I ever want to do is just like write jokes. And that's oh no, I kind of decided I was gonna do stand up and not go to college junior year of high school. I wanted to drop out then, honestly. I did freshman year at Georgia State Film School and was like, nah. I started doing stand up and that was
it.
I've done it nonstop since.
Yeah, because like a couple of people like we've already had on the show, they've done it for like, they do it once, wait a couple of months, do it again. I
had that experience. Like I said, like I did it for the first time when I was 17, and I went to the Hangar. Were either y'all around for the Hangar?
Nah, you're older than us apparently.
You've been doing comedy way longer than us apparently.
Okay, the Hangar was an old. I came at the end of the Hangar. Like it was like popping before like I was doing comedy really. They filmed that Vice Flophouse show there, but it was an old airplane hangar that three comics, one comic when I did it and two other people lived there, and they just allowed shows to happen at the space, and it was in the middle of Laughing Skull like comedy festival. So I didn't know that. There were just like Skull Fest comics who were in town trying to get a mic, and I went there and they were like, this guy is coming in from LA. He's here for Skull Fest. Give it up for him. And like it was Quincy Jones. You know Quincy? Yeah. This was before like the HBO special and Ellen and everything. I didn't know who he was, and I just watched him go up there. And like I thought he was like doing like really well, and he was like, "Man, fuck this room." Because it was like it was an open mic. It was not like a good like mic, and so I just like start like shitting myself. I'm like, oh my god. And like comics are like, this is I'm like, I'm about to go up for the first time. I told like 3 jokes. The third one got a little bit of a laugh. And then I didn't know what to do, so I just put the microphone back
and just walked off stage. Like, so what's the deal with cell phones?
It's like, I was like, oh shit, I did it. I got the laugh. I guess I'm done now.
Like, it was one laugh, you're like, yep, nailed it. I mean, that's the kind of way it works. Like you're having sex and she comes, you're like, all right, I'm out of here.
You accomplished the goal, guys.
It's like you did the cap go out there for like 2 minutes, get one big laugh, and be like,
that wasn't a big laugh. Let's not.
He said, no, this was not a big laugh.
I got a laugh. I got like a response.
Oh, okay.
Like I got some chuckles from comics in the back.
Did anybody give you that complimentary fist bump?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was there with my dad. He brought me because like
you were old enough?
Yeah, it was a school night. It was a Thursday, I think. And like he's brought me to do stand up, and I did it, and it was fine, and I didn't touch it again. That was like a junior year of high school, and then like a freshman year of college.
Okay.
So,
I started like doing it nonstop.
So, just unique situation since you're so fucking old as fucking comedy.
You guys remember the Hangar?
Well, I don't know, because like there's like the Hangar was around for like a good while after like I started, but then like when Relapse came back, it was like they overlapped for like 4 or 5 months.
Some more old man shit. Wasn't here for Relapse to be gone. Oh shit! But you were just in comedy so long, so explain, because I was kind of there for a couple of them. Explain how good of a week it was for you for your birthday. For your 21st birthday.
Well, it started pretty shitty. I made the mistake of I threw like a birthday show for myself at Relapse for my 21st birthday. And I don't like birthdays. I don't like birthday parties. I don't like birthday parties because no one ever showed up. Like it'd be like 3 or 4 like my friends and that'd be it. And so I didn't do it, and then I was like, you know what? It's my 21st birthday. I'm doing comedy. People like me. I'm gonna do a show.
People like me.
Same shit. Same fucking shit. 4 coworkers. My dad and his family friends came out, and then like 4 comics.
Yeah, I
And I'm
couldn't
like,
make it either.
yeah, no, see, yeah.
Nobody comes to birthdays.
Yeah, and-
I had blazers. I had party favors. Like I was coming.
man.
My birthday's also August 30th, so it's always like Labor Day weekend, which is the busiest weekend in Atlanta. There's Dragon Con, there's Black Gay Pride, there's the first SEC football game. There's all this shit
I
happening.
paid for Dragon Con tickets, so I wasn't gonna miss it. Like
I felt that. I was like, I wish I was Dragon Con.
I wish I was at Dragon Con on my birthday.
Yeah. Dude, I'd rather be talking to strangers in line about anime than like fucking like doing a show that was not a roast show that became a roast show. That's a weird
On your
experience.
birthday, so yeah.
That's a weird experience when like people are like, no, this is gonna be roast now. And you're like, oh,
No, this is a roast now.
might as well. You know everybody in the room.
yeah.
Well, how long have you been doing stand-up at this point?
A little over 3 years now.
Seriously? Well, so it's been about a serious 2 years.
Yeah, no, serious 3 years. The first set I did was like 5 years ago. Like
Yeah,
was,
so that's-
yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm a vet, just been out here a long time.
Yeah, about 4.5 years ago.
Back in my day, we used to go to the hangar. Just stand it up.
Dude, that is the weird thing of like, if you're a comedian like fucking who's been doing it a day longer than me would be like, shut the fuck up, you're so fresh, you're so new.
How long you been doing stand-up? 4 years? Look at this guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way it always is. But like, I finally gotten to the point where like now at open mics, I'm talking to new comics. I'm like, oh yeah, and Overchill. Oh, you guys never did Overchill. That mic's dead. Like it's like, oh, I'm that comic who's telling the stories of what happened at another open mic, and I want to kill myself.
I was there for that one. All right, cool.
I don't remember that one.
Young buck.
Well, yeah. My first stand-up ever was the Skull, and that was
This is
the
actually
only
my
place.
podcast now.
He's the elder statesman.
Right, like he has in New York. My first show was at Skull, and then I did not know that there were any other comedy clubs ever. And then I went to Skull like 3 or 4 times, and I found out about Uptown Comedy Corner. Then I went to Uptown and bombed hella hard.
Yeah.
Hard. Like the DJ started playing like bombs during the middle of my set.
Oh yeah, the DJ Uptown is ruthless.
And then Ed Lover came out and was like, make some noise in Pierre's car. That nigga came all the way from France to bring all that garbage. And I was like, oh, okay. And I wanted to leave, but I couldn't because you can't just leave in the middle.
Like, whether you do good or bad at Uptown, the host is gonna do like 10 minutes in between.
Yeah.
And like it's really telling when the entire 10 minutes is about you.
Like the whole.
Yeah, that's like.
He comes out, I was like, yo, cut the music. Yo, make some noise for me. Don't even play no music. Oh man, the dude before me, they started playing crickets during his set. And he was like, what the fuck is that, frogs? He said that, and dude was like, boy, you know you ain't even from here. You said frogs, them crickets, nigga. Where you from? He was like, I'm from New York. He was like, yeah, y'all niggas ain't even got, he said, y'all got frogs in New York? What the fuck are you talking about?
Nah, they ain't got trees.
Yeah, they got, bro, I see it. Everybody always talks about the New York squirrels. You know what I'm saying? I actually saw a picture of a New York squirrel and shit look like cats.
What?
They are fucking huge.
I went to New York. I didn't see a single squirrel.
They eat like actual. You said what?
I went to New York recently. I didn't see a single squirrel.
Did you go to the park? Apparently that's where they
I walked through
are.
a park in Manhattan to go to like clubs and shit.
I
So
heard
it was
all
dark.
that trees got like fences around it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a good comedian. I was doing like 4 p.m. shows in a club.
See, I didn't even know that they were day shows.
Oh, dude, like.
See, that's what I'm saying. So I'm not. Yeah. So you're like, yo, how says like, yeah. So you know you become an alumni, right? And we're like, what? He's like, you become an alumni at NBC, BET, Comedy Central. They email you auditions and stuff. And you just show up for their shows. I was like, no. I have no idea what that's like.
That's what I mean. Like, if like y'all are talking about like I'm an elder statesman. If Johanse was sitting here, I'd be quiet as fuck.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were both sitting here just slick stunned because I didn't know he'd been doing comedy for like over 10 years.
I thought when I first met Johannes, I met him the night he made it.
Yeah.
That's what I was like, because I had, like, the first time I met him, I think we talked or whatever, and we exchanged information, and it was like literally maybe 15 minutes before he had got on the World Star.
Mm.
So I was the one telling, like, hey man, you got like 1 million views in an hour.
Huh?
Dude, Like, I'd say is one of those comics where if he gets a late night set, it's over. Like, that video is everywhere. That video is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, that was the most, like, soul-crushing thing to me at Skull when they did the New Faces audition. And I was like, man, I hope I just do well and, like, the dude likes me. I don't think I'm gonna get it. It's my first time. And I was like, Hansei's here. Like, he's gonna kill it. Hansei's like, yeah, I've got up in front of him multiple times. So I'm like... like, oh, it's gonna be decades for me.
Oh, man.
Shit. Yeah, it's been a decade for him, so...
Yeah.
I mean, but he's been doing it the whole
decades, plural.
Yeah.
He's in more than one. Because I remember, I don't know who this guy's name is. Jimmy Fallon was talking about him. Said when you like start doing comedy very seriously, there's this I forget his name.
Jeff Singer?
I think it is. They say he doesn't laugh at anything. They say like Jimmy Fallon. He's like when he first met him or whatever. They were like, oh, by the way, do your best, and he's not gonna laugh. And he was like, what do you mean? Like he will not laugh at anything you say.
Oh no, that's the SNL audition.
Yeah.
Lorne Michaels, like they don't laugh at like anything.
They literally don't laugh at anything. You can be out there just doing your whole bit, and they just stare at you and just.
Cause like you're on stage at like Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're on stage in front of the entire like studio audience, but no one's there except for like Lorne, like 2 producers and like a head writer.
That's it.
And like they're all just watching you, and
he said they're all just like.
Yeah.
And you get 5 minutes, and it's just silence.
But Jimmy Fallon made them laugh because
he did.
For his impressions, he did a bunch of them, but then his last one I think was an Adam Sandler impression, which at the time no one just did an Adam Sandler. They thought it was so weird that he pulled
because he doesn't really sound like anything.
Well, it's just like no one like this was like what Adam Sandler. This was like
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, the movies were starting to come out like because Fallon got in there early 2000s, so like he auditioned right after Sandler left SNL, probably maybe 3 or 4 years after. I could be wrong on the time frame. Someone will comment and be like, "Oh, bitch, you got it wrong."
Like Zachary Wright's wrong.
Yeah.
But no, what's it called? I don't know if I could actually do that shit. Like I need some sort of reaction from somebody because if I'm talking about something, you're just sitting there just like. I'm just gonna riff on something else. Like, is this over? I'm sweating. Is it hot? Y'all think it's hot.
Dude, that's apparently the scariest shit is I don't know if they do this to everyone. I literally just listened to this interview with Andy Samberg where he auditioned for it and they had him come back and a producer told him, all right, do the same stuff again. And then 2 days before it, he found out from someone, no, do not do the same 5 minutes. They want to see something completely new. So he had a few days. Because SNL, it's written in 2 days.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's written the week of, Tuesday, Monday night.
Rehearsing Thursdays and stuff.
Yeah, Monday night, people start writing. Then Tuesday's the pitch and everything, and they write all the sketches. And it's they want you to okay, cool, that was great. Next week, what you got?
Right. So if you want to do it, it's now you're in it. So
yeah. You're not going to get that, you're not going to get months to prepare for the next episode.
I mean, I feel like that's more pressure on the writer.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, and then I'm not saying it's not as difficult for the actor or comedian because you have to. I mean, I'm pretty sure the writers are going to be there with rehearsals anyway.
If you're auditioning to perform, you have to do that no matter what. Because, on SNL, there are writers and there are performers, but performers are still, writing. They're sitting there with the writers and, they're pitching everything.
Oh, but what was your most memorable bomb?
Okay, I was 6 or
7 years old?
6 or 7 months into
I'm not saying he's I know I said I did it 5 years ago, but when I was 6. 6
or 7 months into comedy, it's Thanksgiving, and everyone is back in town. Dulce Sloan, Clayton English. There are people who didn't start here who are in town, but had some affiliation either through family or college, like Josh Johnson, who's in town. And
I remember this because I wasn't getting booked on those shows around this time.
Well, this was
because it was the holidays.
This was at the Punchline, the Sunday night thing, and they had bucket spots. And I went up in between David Perdue and Dulce Sloan. Because I was a bucket spot, I was the only person on that show without a TV credit. Everyone else is stacked, Like everyone's killed. Everyone's got like a late night set.
I was gonna say, it was your time, Zach.
Till time to
And I get up there, and I'm doing my, at the time, A material.
Yeah, I know what you
best
mean.
I got.
Yeah.
And silence. Silence. Another joke. Silence. Third joke. Silence. Fourth joke. Silence. Fifth joke. I can hear only Dulce Sloan laughing at me in the back of the room. Not at the joke. I was like, she was like, it was one of those, like, you, like, every comic has
we
been
know
there.
that.
We know.
Yeah, you've watched it, Bob, you're like, ooh, this is gonna break this.
Bob,
And that was the only time I've walked off stage and like thought about quitting comedy. That's the only time.
Weird.
That will stick with me forever.
But like, just like we were talking about outside, like Darius was here earlier, and Darius is like, he was going to the Skull tonight, and like I actually gave him a few jokes. I was like, you can use these, whatever, they gonna help. I was like, and he was like, can I run my bit by you? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. I said, but before you do, it doesn't matter what I think. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, like, it doesn't matter if I think your set's good or bad. So he was like, what does that mean? I said, for example, there are people who are getting paid thousands and probably millions of dollars in comedy that I don't think are funny at all.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what I think, clearly. So he was like, bet, ran it by me. I thought it was pretty decent. But it just came with a certain level of, I wouldn't use this in this room per se, because he wanted to open up, talk about eating booty.
Yeah, we on camera. But,
Yeah.
I mean, ain't got a problem with talking about eating butt.
Yeah, I love eating booty, dude. Yeah.
Sometimes, like,
Nah.
no, I've seen comics kill with eating ass material. I've seen comics murder with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I deal with that shit.
He's like, yeah, that's my bread and butter, baby. But how did you recover from that bomb? Did you go back to Punchline and kill again?
No, I didn't do Punchline again for like months.
Is it
Months.
because of that?
Oh yeah.
That sounds
I couldn't walk in that. I still walk in that room, and like, I see a packed out crowd, and I still feel that like bomb feeling of like
It's gonna happen again.
Yeah. I'm like I can't trust this room ever.
I was gonna say, have you ever done material like nowadays? Have you done your A material somewhere and none of it's worked recently?
Not none of it. I definitely had like shows where like, especially going to like different spots throughout the South, where it's like, okay, cause I don't know, Atlanta, there's a comic in Nashville, the name is escaping me, but he had a very valid criticism of a certain type of Atlanta comic who like does like the Skull a lot of like, that's like the club you do, is like, Atlanta breeds alt comics, it doesn't necessarily breed like southern like club comics, like to go like tour. So like I'll have like stuff like this usually hits but it didn't, but this part that doesn't always hit did really well. Yeah.
Right.
So it can be, I've definitely had that have enough times to where it doesn't rattle me anymore when something doesn't hit. Like it just like
It's kind of like, oh, okay.
for like so on some real My Hero shit. It's like
I'm ready.
that joke didn't work. Keep smiling.
No, sorry.
You think I can do it,
For I am here.
Like keep smiling through the pain. Like you got this. Like you know you'll get him back with something. Don't let him see. Don't let him see.
Don't let him see you cry.
Yeah.
He said like on some real My Hero shit, bro. Like all for one right now, dog.
Dude.
Like that cool.
I mean, for real, you gotta want it bad. You gotta want
I
it.
do break my bones every set.
He's like-
Soft white rice, is that what deku means?
Yeah, it's like a rice pudding or something, or like some
It's tasteless.
tasteless. Useless. Nobody really cares for
Useless
it.
white pudding.
But we do got about 4 minutes left. But is there anything?
Damn, this is quick.
I know it's a quick dirty 30. This is what I tried to tell him. Is there anything you wanted to talk about, Cap, or ask questions?
That 20 minutes gonna feel long.
Oh shit!
I did do 20 minutes clean at a house show in front of like an entire like families.
Like kids and stuff too.
Like the kids would run in and out of the room, so that's why I was like, it was kind of like, they told us like we didn't have to like be worried about it, but like there were kids running in and out of the room.
Right.
We're not gonna have them in the room, but they were in the room. It's like,
But they can hear what you're saying.
yeah. So it's like that's in the back of your head, like the entire time. I did that, and like I survived that, and I was like, okay. This is an Alpharetta, and it was.
Sounds scary.
Mm-hmm.
It was. It's not what you were thinking. It was all like a bunch of like Indian immigrant like families that moved here like in the area.
Damn.
It was a birthday party for the guy who owned the house. The house was so nice. I didn't even feel like I had the right to take a shit there.
I know what you're talking about. You're just kind of like, yeah, I should probably leave.
Yeah, I genuinely like. I felt like if I took a shit in that bathroom, the like toilet could detect how poor I was.
Look at
Just
this
shoot it
shit,
back at
right?
me.
Bro, what?
It's like detected too many Wendy's 4 for 4s. And like,
Like their sink and everything is like
Yeah.
gold and porcelain, like even white water driplets over there. And you're just like,
Y'all are tripping. I shit in every nice toilet I can.
I shit there. I just wasn't happy about it.
I feel like my ass deserves better. Like,
you know what? You're right. I feel like Cat would shit with his feet up. Just like,
take my shirt off.
Do either of y'all?
take my shirt
Hey,
off.
y'all being that butt ass nigga. Like,
Sweat.
all right, now I got my question. Everybody shit with their shirt on? That's the thing now. Everybody
I shit with my shirt on. I don't take
in
it
the
off.
house.
Yeah.
I
In
have
the house?
No, I have IBS. It depends on the shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you ever smelled the back of your shirt?
There have been sometimes where I've thrown up and I'll take my shirt off and I gotta throw up because I'll sweat when I'm throwing up sometimes. But when I'm taking a shit, no.
No, that's something I feel though. Like I still took the shit there because like when people who don't have IBS, like it's like they don't realize it, but they flex on me hard. Where they're like, I would never take a shit in that bathroom. Like I have the choice. Like I shit at Star Bar 3 times because I had to. There was no other option.
No. Why didn't you go across
It's
the
the
street
streets
to
of
the
the vortex.
I don't think you understand.
Oh, well, IBS
I
means-
was like, go.
When it's time, it's time.
I'm
is what you're
going.
saying.
I mean, I heard the commercials. I didn't know it was
Yeah,
like that.
I'm like, I could walk across the
Hold
street.
on, pause. We are not shitting on Star Bar.
Nah, I'm just
At all.
Star
But that bathroom.
Yeah, I'm about to say any bathroom that frequents at least 100 people on a Monday, every Monday.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pass on that one.
yeah.
But before we go,
Wait, where you shitting? What's the what?
Not
Oh
green
my!
room.
What? Where you not shitting in the green room Star Bar?
No.
So any other place you just not shitting?
No, I've shit at every open mic.
yeah.
I've shit at probably every open mic.
I should know these women's bathroom.
In place.
Nobody knocks. It's the quietest shit I've ever taken in.
It's Tuesday. You can catch me there. Shit at Noni's tonight. Final plug.
Coming with that shit tonight.
Hey, it's a peaceful time. You can get some good right there.
Well, thank you, Zach Wright, for coming and hanging out with us on Rated PG. Boom.
Thank you for having me on, man.
And thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, I'll be black. If that's all white with you.
Some more shit than I thought.
What, his hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a little soft. Au revoir.